Welcome to Value Plays Only, where Gilded Drake just makes sure everyone gets a flyer. Today, we have Tyler, playing Dargo the Shipwrecker and Tymna the Weaver. This deck looks to loop Dargo with Relic of Legends or Burgi and a Sacrifice outlet, or it can win with Underworld Breach. His hand contains a Greedy Freebooter, Talisman of Indulgence, Bolas' Citadel, Scrubland, Badlands, Mana Confluence, and Godless Shrine. Dan is playing Zhulodok, Void Gorger. This is a big mana colorless random number generator. It looks to cast discounted high CMC cards to cascade into a win. It usually wins through a glaring Fleshraker loop. His hand contains a Darksteel Citadel, Urza's Mine, and Gyro Reach Sanitarium. His 4 London mulligans are Void Winnower, Chromatic Orrery, Krark Clan Ironworks, and Cursed Totem. Colorless was unkind to Dan today. Nick from the Top Deckers is playing Thrasios Triton Hero and Tymna the Weaver. This deck leverages 2 card advantage engines in the command zone to piece together either an infinite mana or a Thassa's Oracle win. His hand contains a Tainted Pact, Survival of the Fittest, Mox Diamond, Gemstone Caverns, Underground Sea, and Misty Rainforest. His London mulligan is a Mana Vault. John is playing Zurgo, Stormrender. This deck is all about tokens, and Zurgo turns them into card advantage. It can win with Abdel Adrian loops, Dualcaster Mage, or Underworld Breach. His hand contains a Charismatic Conqueror, Orcish Bowmasters, Doughty Voidwalker, Drana and Linvala, Mondrak Glory Dominus, Sol Ring, and Caves of Koilos. And with that, let's see some value plays. Nick has a pregame action, putting Gemstone Caverns into play, exiling Survival of the Fittest. Tyler then starts things off with a Badlands, his land for turn. He casts a Sol Ring. He casts Talisman of Indulgence. He casts Greedy Freebooter. Everyone tells him to calm down as he passes the turn. Dan plays an Urza's Mine, his land for turn. He passes the turn. Nick plays a Misty Rainforest, his land for turn. He casts a Mox Diamond, discarding Underground Sea as it enters. He pays a life and cracks Misty Rainforest, fetching up a Bayou. He casts his commander, Tymna the Weaver. He passes the turn. John plays a Caves of Koilos, his land for turn. He casts a Sol Ring. John passes the turn. Tyler untaps and draws. He plays a Scrubland, his land for turn. He casts his commander, Tymna the Weaver. Tyler goes to combat and swings Greedy Freebooter at John. He takes the damage. In his second main phase, Tymna triggers to lose a life and draw a card. He casts Lotus Petal. Tyler passes the turn. Dan untaps and draws. He plays Urza's Workshop as land for turn. He passes the turn. Nick untaps and draws. He goes to combat and swings Tymna at John. John takes the damage, and in his second main phase, Tymna triggers to lose a life and draw a card. Nick casts Wishclaw Talisman. He tells Dan that he will give it to him only if Dan gets a land and passes it back. Dan, needing all the help he can get, agrees. Nick activates Wishclaw Talisman, searching up a card to hand and giving Wishclaw to Dan. He then passes the turn. John untaps and draws. He plays a Badlands, his land for turn. He casts Charismatic Conqueror. He then casts Orcish Bowmasters. It enters and triggers to ping Freebooter, killing it. Freebooter triggers to make a treasure. Conqueror triggers and Tyler taps his token down. John then passes the turn. Tyler untaps and draws. He goes to combat swinging Tymna at Dan. He takes the damage. In his second main phase, Tymna triggers to lose a life and draw. Bowmaster pings Tyler for 1. He then casts Bolas' Citadel. Conqueror triggers to make a vampire. He casts Esper Sentinel. Conqueror trigger to make a vampire. He casts Ranger Captain of Eos. Ranger and Conqueror trigger. John makes a vampire and Tyler searches up a Ragavan, Nibble Pilferer to hand. He plays Blood Crypt as land for turn, into play on tap, paying 2 life. He casts Savine's Reclamation, returning Greedy Freebooter to the battlefield. Conqueror makes a vampire. He casts Mox Amber. Conqueror makes a vampire. He casts Enlightened Tutor, searching up an Altar of Dementia to the top of his library. He casts it off the top. Conqueror triggers and Tyler taps it down. Tyler casts his commander, Dargo the Shipwrecker, sacrificing Greedy Freebooter and Mox Amber as an additional cost. Conqueror makes a vampire. He casts Altar of the Wretched. It triggers to sacrifice Dargo, drawing 7 and milling 7. Tyler recasts Dargo, sacrificing Altar of the Wretched as an additional cost. Conqueror makes a vampire. Tyler casts Cabal Ritual. He adds 5 black and then casts Chrome Box, imprinting Orym's Chant. He flashes back Savine's Reclamation from grave, returning Burgi, God of Storytelling, to the battlefield. He can now present a loop of sacrificing Dargo to Altar to mill an opponent for 7, then recasting Dargo for 1 red. Every time he does, Burgi makes back the red man he needs to keep recasting Dargo. Tyler does this over and over until all of his opponents have no library. Tyler then passes the turn. One by one, his opponents try to draw from an empty library and lose the game. And with that, Tyler wins the game. Today, we have a 2-for-1 deal. In this game, Dan is playing Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. This is a landfall combo deck. It can assemble many different infinite mana combos with any land untapping ability. It can often win only through activated abilities once it gets going. His hand contains an Amulet of Vigor, 6, Urza's Cave, Hickory Woodlot, and Lotus Field. His London mulligans are Lazatep Quarry and Talon Gates of Madara. John is playing Elsha of the Infinite. This is an instant speed top deck combo deck. It can win with the Sensei's Divining Top and a cost reducer or Underworld Breach. His hand contains an Impostor Mech, Chrome Mox, and Hollowed Fountain. His 4 London mulligans are Gamble, Rending Volley, Grim Monolith, and Talisman of Progress. Sometimes this is how it is. Cammy's playing Sheoldred, the Apocalypse. This mono-black control deck looks to punish mid-range value decks while slowly draining the table. It can win Bloodchief Ascension and Mindcrank or Aetherflux Reservoir. Her hand contains a Bloodchief Ascension, Dark Ritual, Black Market Connections, Force of Despair, Lich's Mastery, and 2 Swamps. Tyler's playing Sisay, Weatherlight Captain. This 5-color tutor chain has 0-card win lines it can tutor to the battlefield if it makes enough mana. In addition, it plays all the best value pieces 5 colors can offer. His hand contains a Mental Misstep, Force of Will, Rhystic Study, Felwar Stone, Gemstone Caverns, Gaia's Cradle, and a Bayou. And with that, let's see some value plays. Tyler has a pre-game action, putting Gemstone Caverns into play, exiling Mental Misstep. Dan then starts things off with an Urza's Cave. He casts an Amulet of Vigor. John asks where that Mental Misstep went. Dan passes the turn. John plays a Hallowed Fountain as land for turn, into play on tap, paying 2 life. He passes the turn. Cammy plays a Swamp as land for turn. She casts a Bloodchief Ascension. John asks where the hell that misstep is now. Cammy passes the turn. Tyler untaps and draws. He plays a Bayou as land for turn. He casts a Felwar Stone. Tyler passes the turn. Dan untaps and draws. He plays a Hickory Woodlot as land for turn. Dan then passes the turn. John untaps and draws. He plays Soporific Springs as land for turn. John passes the turn. Cammy untaps and draws. She plays a Swamp as land for turn. She casts a Dark Ritual. She casts her commander, Sheoldred, the Apocalypse. Cammy then passes the turn. Tyler untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. He plays a Tarnished Citadel as land for turn. Tyler casts Rhystic Study. He then casts Ignoble Hierarch. He passes the turn. In his end step, Bloodchief gets his first counter. Dan untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. He plays a Lotus Field as land for turn. Lotus Field and Amulet trigger. Dan untaps it, floats 6 mana, and then sacrifices his other lands. He casts his commander, Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. Rhystic triggers and Tyler draws. Lumra enters and triggers, milling 4 and returning Hickory Woodlot, Urza's Cave, Snow-Covered Forest, and Ghost Quarter into play. He casts 6, Rhystic triggers, and he pays. He then passes the turn. In his end step, Bloodchief gets its second counter. John untaps and draws. Sheoldred triggers to ping him for 2. John casts an Imposter Mech as a copy of 6. He then passes the turn. In his end step, Bloodchief gets its final counter. Cammy untaps and draws. Sheoldred triggers to gain 2. Cammy plays a Swamp as land for turn. She casts Black Market Connections. Rhystic triggers and Tyler draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. Cammy goes to combat and swings Sheoldred at Tyler. He takes the damage and Cammy passes the turn. Tyler untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. He plays Gaia's Cradle as land for turn. He casts Badger Mole Cub. It enters and triggers to Earthbend Gaia's Cradle. He casts Mana Vault. He casts Springleaf Drum. He casts his commander, Sisay, Weatherlight Captain. He then tries to pass. Cammy responds by casting Force of Despair, exiling Lich's Mastery as an additional cost. Rhystic triggers and Tyler draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. Tyler responds with a hardcast Force of Will. Force of Despair is countered and Bloodchief triggers to drain Tyler for 2. Tyler then casts Demonic Tutor, searching up a card to hand. Bloodchief drains him for 2. Tyler then passes the turn. Dan untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. He plays Command Beacon as land for turn. Dan goes to combat and swings Lumra and 6 at Cammy. 6 triggers to mill 3 and return Field of the Dead to hand. Bloodchief triggers 3 times to drain him for 6. Cammy takes 8. In his second main phase, Dan activates Ghost Quarter, sacrificing it to destroy Gaia's Cradle. Bloodchief triggers twice and Earthbend triggers. Cradle returns tapped and Dan and Tyler are drained for 2. Dan then retraces a Shia, Soul of the Wilds. Bloodchief triggers and Rhystic trigger. Dan pays and then is drained for 2. Dan passes the turn. John untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. John plays Ancient Tomb as land for turn. He casts Chrome Mox. Rhystic triggers and Tyler draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. John imprints Bergi as it enters. He casts his commander, Elsha of the Infinite. Rhystic triggers and Tyler draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. John looks at the top card with Elsha. He crews his vehicle 6 and goes to combat. He swings it at Tyler. 6 triggers to mill 3 and returns City Brass to hand. Bloodchief triggers to drain him for 6. Tyler then takes the damage. John passes the turn. Cammy untaps and draws. Sheoldred triggers to gain 2. In her first main phase, Black Market Connections triggers to lose 3 to draw and make a treasure. Sheoldred triggers to gain 2. Cammy casts Aetherflux Reservoir. Rhystic triggers and Tyler draws. Sheoldred triggers to ping him for 2. Cammy goes to combat and swings Sheoldred at Tyler. Tyler takes the damage and Cammy passes the turn. Tyler taps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. Mana Vault pings him for 1. He plays Scrubland as land for turn. Tyler casts Chromatic Orrery. It passes through to Cammy as the boys beg for help. Cammy says she isn't doing anything unless Dan agrees not to attack her on his turn, as she would just lose to that immediately. Dan, desperate to not lose on the spot, agrees. Cammy responds with Aetherflux Reservoir, paying 50 life to laser Tyler in the face, killing him. The turn then moves to Dan. Dan untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. He can't attack Cammy and wants blockers for her turn, so he just passes the turn. John untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. John asks if Dan will let him in with 6 to try and get an out. Dan agrees and John goes to combat, crewing 6 with Elsha and attacking Dan with it. 6 triggers to mill Scalding Tarn, Static Prison, and Mystic Remora, returning Scalding Tarn to hand. Bloodchief triggers to drain him for 6. He casts Mishra's Bauble off the top with Elsha. John retraces Static Prison from his grave. Bloodchief triggers to drain him for 2. Prison enters and triggers to exile Aetherflux Reservoir. John says he bought them a couple turns. He casts Mox Diamond off the top, discarding City Brass as it enters. Bloodchief triggers to drain him for 2. He casts Power Balance off the top. John has run out of gas and has to pass the turn. Cami taps and draws. Sheoldred triggers to gain 2. In her first main phase, Black Market Connections loses 3 to make a treasure and draw. Sheoldred triggers to gain 2. Cami casts May, Scornful Striker. Power Balance triggers. In response, John casts Mana Vault off the top with Elsha. He then casts Lotus Petal off the top with Elsha. John declines to reveal and May resolves. Cami passes the turn. Dan untaps and draws. Sheoldred triggers to begin for 2. He goes to combat and swings Lumra, 6, and a Shy at Cami. 6 triggers to mill 3 and doesn't hit a land. Bloodchief drains him for 6. Cami blocks 6 with Sheoldred. Before damage, Cami casts Infernal Grasp, targeting Lumra. Power Balance and May trigger. John says if he spares Sheoldred, Cami needs to give him 1 pass on Bloodchief this turn. Cami agrees, and John flashes in Rolling Earthquake with X equals 2. May triggers to ping him for 2. Everyone takes 2 and May is then destroyed. John declines to reveal, Cami loses 2, and then Cami takes 7 in combat and kills 6. Bloodchief drains him for 2. In his second main phase, Dan plays Echoing Deeps as a copy of Field of the Dead. Due to a Shia, it triggers and makes a zombie. Dan pays 8 to recast Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. Power Balance triggers and John declines. Lumra triggers to mill 4, including no lands, returning Hickory Woodlot, Field of the Dead, Snow-Covered Forest, and Ghost Quarter to the battlefield. 2 Field of the Deads trigger 4 times each, and Bloodchief triggers 4 times. Dan drains for 8 and makes 8 new zombies. Dan then passes the turn. In his end step, John sacrifices Mishra's Bauble to look at Dan's top card. The turn then moves to John. John untaps in in his upkeep, Bauble triggers to draw. Sheoldred pings him for 2. John casts Felwar Stone off the top through Elsha. He then draws for turn. Sheoldred triggers to ping him for 2. Mana Vault pings him for 1. At the start of his main phase, John pays an energy to keep Static Prison. In an act of total desperation, John crews 6 with Elsha. He swings 6 at Cami. 6 triggers to mill 3 and return a land to hand. 3 Bloodchief triggers go on the stack. John tries to start storming off here, casting Rhystic Study off the top. He responds with an Offer You Can't Refuse off the top. Offer counters Rhystic, and John makes 2 treasures. 2 more Bloodchief triggers go on the stack, and John looks at his top card. The fun stops here, and John dies. Aetherflux returns to Cami's board. Cami untaps and draws. Sheoldred triggers to gain 2. Black Market Connections triggers to lose 6 and make a treasure, a shapeshifter, and draw. Sheoldred triggers to gain 2. She plays a swamp as land for turn. Cami casts Gwenum Remorseless. She then passes the turn. Dan untaps and draws. Sheoldred pings him for 2. He plays a Buried Ruin as land for turn. 2 Field of the Deads trigger to make zombies. Dan goes to combat and swings 9 zombies at Cami. She blocks 2 with Gwenum and the shapeshifter and takes 10. Dan passes the turn. Cami untaps and draws. She gains 2 from Sheoldred. Black Market Connections makes a treasure and draws. Sheoldred gains 2 more. Cami just passes the turn, happy to watch Dan die. Dan untaps and draws. Sheoldred triggers to ping Dan for 2, killing him. And with that, Cami wins the game. So what did we learn today? Turns out you don't need a lot of spells to win the game. A couple burn engines and your opponents will just kill themselves looking to play. And a 50 damage laser beam doesn't hurt. If you have any tips for the video, leave them below. Subscribe if you feel like it. Until next time, keep making value plays.
I'll throw out a musical.
Hey man,
Help.
you want to make a deal?
If you don't give it to Dan, you're a criminal.
I know.
Gotta give it to me. Would you like to have that enter tapped?
No.
Okay, I make a vampire.
Okay.
You want to have it enter tapped?
No.
Nice.
That's fucking cool.
John, you're on fire.
Would you like to have it enter tapped?
That's not an artifact.
No.
It's a creature.
Oh, does that do both?
Yeah.
Wow, damn, that's
An awesome card.
fucking sick.
Here's a blood curse.
Would you like to have it enter tapped? Saves your life.
No.
What the hell does it trigger on? Everything?
No, I'm just saying it can enter tapped. I love.
They just manually list every
Oh, I
permanent
did.
type.
Would you like the card in your hand tapped?
It triggers again.
It triggers Dan. Would you like it to enter tapped?
No.
What'd you tutor?
Thassos, because I was going to
Yeah.
I got super greedy. I didn't expect the...
I think that's what you should do. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to stop everyone in
Yeah.
the blue, man.
Amulet of
God,
I got
so strong.
No, I wish I had that fucking medal. Dude, I debated a long time. I was like, dude, Dan ain't gonna play something sick. You're so cool. Fuck, dude.
Swamp. Lots of cocoa concoction.
Ew.
He's a fucking mental asshole.
Ew, guys. Ew.
Dude.
The heck? I'm gonna take a lot of damage from this Rhystic if it starts to pop off, though.
I hope it doesn't. I hope we all casually draw for 7 turns until I catch up. That's what I hope.
Dan, put him in the dirt.
Dan, please.
Yeah.
The sage you
Strip mine. Strip mine. Wasteland.
I beg you to pay for Ristic, whatever you're fucking doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm on 3 cards.
Okay, you just did. You
One
literally
time.
are on 5 mana and Ristic.
John, have a heart.
I have to be able to crew it. It doesn't do that.
Oh, it
It's a
doesn't?
creature copy.
Oh, I thought it was like Phyrexian.
Nope.
Artifact or creature.
Also, not an artifact.
Man. I was trying to look out for you, dog. I'm trying to cheat for you.
No, you're right. It's
I'm
a
trying to cheat for you, homie. Come on.
And I cannot do my thing.
Your thing is to win. Your thing is not to help.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can try to, like, mill cards or do something.
Oh, man, I can't do nothing.
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, is I literally
Yeah.
can't do anything, basically.
You could try.
That's a lot.
Sorry, I'm thinking. Sweet.
So many.
Dan?
Oh
Dan?
my god.
Dan?
What is going on?
Oh my god.
Heard
That's
do
more,
not disturb.
that's more text than I got all day.
Holy crap.
Yeah, why do you always have the sound on full volume?
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's hard. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't pull the
Turn.
trigger
Dude,
immediately.
I'm not gonna kill Tyler if
That's
Dan's just
true.
gonna kill me.
No, I
like
guess,
that.
yeah.
Like that'd be
You
so
need to get
stupid.
some assurances
I'm just gonna
from your
hold it up
man.
and
You're
kill
right.
Dan.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, maybe you could work with Dan. Are you done?
I've
Dan
learned
don't make
not
deals.
to
I don't
work
know.
with
I
Dan.
don't know what the fuck to
No,
even
I'm
make a deal with. Oh my goodness.
Dan, I don't. That's literally exactly what I was about to say. I said, Dan doesn't know how to make deals. Dan goes, I don't even know where I would start to make a deal.
Because I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm like...
Things happen.
Rolling Earthquake deals 2 damage to each creature without horsemanship and each player.
Deals what?
2 damage to each creature without horsemanship.
Fucking what?
I'm kind of wondering if it would be worth it to just retrace Lumra instead of pay.
How do you retrace?
Pitch your land.
How? With that card? Put it over there. Trigger 6.
You die.
You're gonna die.
Mill.
You got
And I
triggers,
return this to hand.
Triggers to die.
I have 3 triggers on the stack. I'm looking. Let's start playing.
Now let's start.
So am I taking 6 damage? It's all on top of what's Cocoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course it is.
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, John acts like you got a 2-6 damage coming at you. Like, dude, we ain't gonna get to that. What are we
Okay.
talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pass.
Pass.
Wow, that is actually so close. that
Yeah.
You were like
I mean,
one draw.
Yeah, if he had 1 more life, he could have finally outed Blood Chief.
Yeah.